This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
An Indianapolis pastor says he was arrested after a trip to the flea market. Now at 5 o'clock, why he says he had no clue he was breaking a law.
Plus, we've been talking a lot about baby boxes this week. This morning, we're getting an inside look at how they work and why they are so important.
And a toddler accidentally takes his own life after finding a loaded gun in his mother's purse. We're detailing the event happening today with the hopes of preventing tragedies like this from ever happening in the future. But first, here at 5 o'clock, we do want to welcome you into Good Morning Indiana on this Friday. I'm Lauren Casey.
And I'm Meredith Barrick, meteorologist Todd Clausen here. And Todd, I was really cold when I stepped out the door today. I almost felt like snowflakes could fall from the sky.
You know, we're getting close, and we had some precipitation as some temperatures have dipped down into the low 30s across the area, but you don't have to worry about that as of yet. But we do have a frost advisory that's in effect. Yesterday, it was only in northern Indiana. Today, it's almost every county in the entire state that is under this frost advisory this morning. And here is why as we go over to the temperatures. Tipton down to 33 degrees. Peru at the freezing mark now at 32 degrees. It's 33 in Greencastle, Bloomington at 35. And these temperatures will likely go down another couple degrees here this morning before they start to climb pretty quickly once the sun comes up. But you have to remember, sunrise now isn't until almost 8 o'clock in the morning. So until then, you are definitely going to need the jacket. Clear skies, that's one of the reasons why our temperatures have cooled off so quick with the light winds. You notice some clouds off to our west, and throughout the day we'll bring in some fair weather clouds at times, but overall should be a beautiful Friday for us. The temperatures inch a little closer to that normal high of 65 degrees. We're at about 53 degrees by the noon hour, and then plenty of sunshine heading into the 4 o'clock hour as high temperatures, Lauren, get back into the low 60s.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Looking ahead to some major lane closures that could impact you over the weekend. We're only going to have one lane open, both northbound and southbound I-65 here near Southport Road going up to I-465 starting tonight at 9 p.m. This will last till Monday morning at 6 a.m. That could slow you down if you're commuting on the south side. We'll also only have one lane open on northbound I-465 between I-70 and 56th Street. That could really impact your commute heading around here on the northeast side of town over the weekend. That is also scheduled to go into effect tonight, last until Monday morning. So keep those in mind for your weekend commute. But as you're heading out the door this morning trying to get to work or school on this Friday, we do have one crash here in the downtown area, not slowing down traffic too much, but you can see it right here blocking one lane of traffic on I-65 and I-70 at the south split. You can see traffic is still getting by though in all directions, so we'll continue to keep a close eye on this and keep you updated.
We are following breaking news from the city's south side. That's where a police chase involving 3 teens and a stolen pickup truck ended. The chase started around 2 this morning at a hotel near 21st and Post Road. The truck was running when the teens hopped in and took off. The truck's owner told police there was a weapon inside. The chase later ended at Garfield Park. None of the teens were injured and the truck only suffered minor damage. Police say this serves as an important reminder to not leave your vehicles running overnight as temperatures continue to drop.
It is 5:03. A pastor hopes to highlight issues with the justice system as he appeals trespassing charges.
Joy Thornton says an incident at a flea market where he dialed 911 for help led to his wrongful arrest and cost him his job. It's a game of he said, she said, which Pastor Thornton says he lost after being confronted by a manager at the Peddler's Mall flea market in September of 2018. Thornton says he got into a confrontation over how he reportedly spoke to an employee, and he ended up calling police. When Thornton returned to the store in January of 2019, he was arrested and charged with trespassing. Court documents show the store manager banned Thornton after his 2018 visit, but that's information he says he never knew about.
Come over to me and ask me, why are you in here? I said, I'm getting my phone fixed. Well, you're not supposed to be in here. I said, sir, I'm just getting my phone fixed. And then he said, put your hands behind your back, you're under arrest. Just like that. I shouldn't have never called 911 to go back over there to that mall, because as a result of that, here's where I am today.
RTV6 did not find any trespass orders issued by police or the courts between Thornton's first visit to the mall and his second visit that ended in his arrest. We will stay with this story as Thornton continues his legal fight.
Time right now is 5:04. A newborn baby was left on the side of the road in Seymour earlier this week, and we've since learned that there's a Safe Haven baby box just a mile away from where that baby girl was found. Indiana is leading the way with more than a dozen of these Safe Haven baby boxes placed all throughout our state. Our Kelsey Anderson is joining us live this morning. And Kelsey, these boxes have saved quite a few babies' lives just since we've got them installed. Tell us a little bit more about it.
Yeah, that's right, Lauren. 3 babies have been placed in these boxes since the start in 2016. And the baby in Seymour is the first abandoned baby reported in Indiana since the start of these boxes. Monica Kelsey, the founder of the baby boxes, tells me the abandoned baby in Seymour was an avoidable situation because there was a box very close by and because of the Indiana Safe Surrender Law. That law allows Hoosier parents to surrender their babies to someone at a designated location without fear of being charged with abandonment. Kelsey says they want to make more people aware of the Safe Surrender Law, so they are looking for volunteers to go talk about safe surrenders to middle school and high school students. Coming up in the next half hour, we'll have a live interview inside the fire department to see just what it looks like when a baby is dropped off here at a Safe Haven box. I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
All right, Kelsey, thank you. A 2-year-old boy is dead after police say he found a gun and accidentally shot himself. It happened early Thursday morning in Morgan County. Investigators say the toddler's mother was house sitting for relatives in Mooresville when he got a hold of an unsecured gun and the shooting happened. He has been identified as Anthony Jones from Indianapolis. The Marion County Sheriff says this should serve as another reminder of the importance of gun safety. You can get free gun locks at several places, including the Sheriff's Office, Riley Children's Health, and even the library. Sheriff Kerry Forrestall says those locks could be the difference between life and death.
It's opinion, but I don't think enough people use them. I think people want to say, I need to get it when I need to get it. Well, you better be sure where it's at, because somebody else may get that.
In response to that tragedy, the Marion County Sheriff will be handing out free gun locks at the Pike Township Fall Festival. That festival runs from 3:30 to 7:30 this evening at the Government Center on Lafayette Road.
At 5:07, soon a downtown Indianapolis post office could bear the name of a legendary Indiana politician. Both houses of Congress have approved naming the post office a few blocks north of Monument Circle after former United States Senator Richard Lugar. The U.S. House of Representatives endorsed the proposal in a unanimous voice vote on Wednesday after the Senate approved this back in July. All 9 of Indiana's House members and both senators joined together to back this legislation to name the post office after Lugar. He served as the mayor of Indianapolis before spending 36 years in the Senate. Lugar died in April at the age of 87. Well, this morning, we want to give you a heads up to a Monon trail closure impacting how you get around the north side.
A short section of the trail near the Indianapolis Arts Center in Broad Ripple will close starting Tuesday, lasting till Friday, October 24th. You will need to use pedestrian connections at East 67th Street and at Cornell Avenue to divert off of the trail. Make sure you keep your head up and follow the signage. Crews with Indy Parks will be working on flood control infrastructure, protecting neighborhoods around the White River.
It's 5:08. It is haunted house season here, and while they're supposed to be scary, officials want to know that the spooky spots all across the state are also safe for you. On Thursday, RTV6 tagged along as State Fire Marshal's office inspected Necropolis haunted attractions on the northeast side of Indianapolis. The department checks things like fire alarms, exit signs, and evacuation plans.
They want to make sure that things are safe, and I think knowing that someone like an inspector has came in and checked out everything to make sure that it's safe and the safety and the fire side of things, it gives them more of a sense of security, knowing, coming in here, making sure that they can have good fun and not have to worry about that kind of stuff.
Well, you can find out whether a haunted house has been inspected by state officials by going to the RTV6 app and clicking on this story. Right now, as you're heading out the door on your Friday, we do want to check in with Todd Clausen and see what we can expect out there, and it is chilly, Todd.
And that is the weather headline by far, at least this morning, is the chill that is is in the air as temperatures have fallen back down into the 30s for most of us, and some of you have temperatures that are already down to the freezing mark across central Indiana. On average, though, our temperatures are about 37 degrees, and they really don't move a whole lot here throughout the remainder of your morning commute as you get going on this Friday. If anything, they'll go down another couple degrees before they start to climb heading into the middle half of the morning. Frost advisory for almost all of Indiana this morning with clear skies. We have no concerns to worry about as far as any precipitation throughout the day today, which will be good news for high school football. And highs today a little warmer than they have been. We're looking at low 60s here from Marion through Tipton over towards Crawfordsville, mid 60s from Bedford to Bloomington at 64 degrees. Then in and around the metro area, temperatures anywhere from about 60 to 63 degrees. Very, very pleasant. We'll talk more about the rest of your weekend for you coming up in Maine weather in just a few minutes.
Todd, thank you. A ban on flavored e-cigarettes was supposed to take effect in Oregon this week, but a judge has said not so fast. We're breaking down the reasoning behind that decision just ahead here on Good Morning Indiana.
And a North Carolina family lost their son in a workplace shooting earlier this year. After the break, why their homeowners association is demanding they tear down a memorial to him. That's coming up.
Days from 4:30 to 7.
Welcome back. The Parkland shooter's death penalty trial is set to begin this coming January. Nicholas Cruz facing 34 counts, including premeditated and attempted murder. He killed 17 people at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School on Valentine's Day back in 2018. Cruz already confessed to the shooting, so the trial isn't about determining his guilt. Instead, it's about whether or not he'll be sentenced to death for that massacre. His defense team has offered a guilty plea in exchange for life in prison and no parole if prosecutors remove the death penalty as an option. Prosecutors have rejected that plea deal.
This morning, police in Birmingham, Alabama are desperately searching for a missing 3-year-old girl. Camille Cupcake McKinney was last seen at a birthday party Saturday night. On Thursday, police searched in the public housing community where Camille was last seen. Police questioned a man earlier this week surrounding Camille's disappearance, but he was not charged. An Amber Alert has been issued in hopes of bringing Camille home safely. $25,000 in reward money is also now being offered in the case.
And 514, a grieving North Carolina family has been told to remove the flag they put up to honor their late son. Leslie and Dave Kendra installed a flagpole with an American flag and an Aurora Strong flag at their home in Wake Forest. The flags honor their son, Clayton Parks, who was killed in the shooting spree in Aurora, Illinois back in February. But the couple says their homeowners association says the flagpole violates the community rules and it must come down.
It was like one more person's trying to take him away from me again. I am just stunned that we as Americans want to discuss whether or not we should be able to have a flag on a pole, on the house, anywhere.
The HOA spokesman says the issue is about the installation of the pole without HOA approval. The Kendras say they've been told that they could be fined up to $100 per day until the flagpole comes down.
A state appeals court has temporarily blocked Oregon's ban on flavored vape products. Governor Kate Brown's executive order directed state agencies to enact a 6-month ban on the sale of flavored vaping products. The rule became effective on Tuesday. According to court documents, 3 companies requested the stay. Governor Brown's press secretary called the decision unfortunate, citing the, quote, ongoing public health threat posed by vaping-related illnesses.
Well, 5 companies accused in thousands of federal and state lawsuits over the nation's opioid epidemic may settle for more than $50 billion. Sources say that 3 pharmaceutical distribution companies are in negotiations with more than 2,000 state, local, Native American tribal governments. Amerisource, Bergen, and Cardinal Health and McKesson Corporation allegedly played roles in that opioid crisis. According to the source, the companies are proposing a combined $18 billion payment over 18 years. Johnson & Johnson is in talks to pay another $4 billion. As we kick off the morning, Todd, is there anything like patchy frost we need to watch out for on the roads?
You know, the roads should be okay. I think temperatures are hovering at freezing or just a little bit above, and there's not a lot of moisture out there to contend with. So I think the roads should be just fine. They're probably running a little bit warmer than grassy areas, but your lawns may look like this in spots here this morning. It's patchy. I don't think it's a super widespread hard frost for everybody. But nonetheless, if you did leave your car outside, some of you, especially in northern and western locations, may have to defrost that windshield or scrape the windshield before you get going here this morning. 39 degrees, that's the current temperature in the city, so not too concerned about frost in Indianapolis. I did not have any in my backyard as I walked out to my garage this morning, but when you have clear skies and calm winds, that's when frost can settle in, when the temperatures get cold enough. And look at these temperatures to the north. It's 32 in Peru, 30 in Crawfordsville now, so you are below freezing, so definitely frost potential there in Montgomery County, 33 in Greenfield, as well as Richmond. Bloomington, you're holding on to a temperature of 35 degrees, so it's really, really chilly here this morning. But when we show you the bigger picture, you look off to the west and you notice the warm-up that's taking temperatures all the way up into the 50s, even into South Dakota, where just a week ago they were dealing with a snowstorm. Well, that warmer air is going to start to work its way in our direction, and the timing's perfect for us. Here we are Friday, looking ahead to the weekend, and we'll see our warmest temperatures of the week likely as we get into Saturday and then into Sunday as we officially start next week. So here's the clear skies. There's not a whole lot going on. Some clouds off to our west. They'll start to drift in at times. So we'll go from mostly sunny here this morning to what we'll call partly cloudy later on this afternoon. But with that sunshine this morning, we make jump about 10 degrees from 40 up to 50 by 11 a.m. Near 60 by the time we get to 2 p.m. And then temperatures should be in the low 60s throughout much of the afternoon for us, with our high right around 63 degrees later on today. As far as high school football this evening, temperatures start off really pleasant, still in the 60s as we get to the 7 p.m. hour. Then they fall into the 50s once the sun sets. So you'll want to have a jacket handy if you're going to be heading to some of these games this evening or just out on the town. Then as we work our way into the overnight hours, temperatures back down into the 30s and 40s. So it's not as cold of a start for the day tomorrow, and with the warmer start will be a warmer finish. Saturday looks really nice, 70 degrees with partly cloudy skies. There's just a small chance as we get into the evening hours, probably after sunset, that there could be a few spotty showers around. The better chance of showers and storms will be on Monday, and some of those could be strong to maybe severe, something we'll keep an eye out for. And then we're back into the 50s for highs on Tuesday. Lauren?
Todd, thanks so much. We are keeping a close eye on traffic this morning as you're heading out the door. We are monitoring a crash in the downtown area. This one's at the South Split along southbound I-65 and I-70. So just a heads up to that as you're traveling through the downtown area. You'll want to watch out for that, but it is only blocking one lane of traffic, so you can still get by okay. Let's take a look at our map, though. I want to look ahead to the weekend. Over here on the northwest side of town and the west side, you may have some slowdowns over the weekend. They will be closing 3 lanes here of southbound I-465s. You're heading south of I-65 between that and 56th Street. So just a short area where they're doing some work in that spot, but you'll want to use caution. This goes into effect at 8 o'clock tonight, scheduled to last until tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. So if you're traveling on that side of town this evening, watch out for some slowdowns and traffic squeezing into 1 or 2 lanes. We'll keep you updated.
It has been a record-setting season for the Indy 11, and their passionate home fans have been a big part of that success. After the break, we give you an inside look at the game night with Brickyard Battalion. We'll be right back.
Fun.
We showed you the Indy 11 highlights yesterday. The team finished the regular season unbeaten at home.
As our Brad Brown explains, the team's Brickyard Battalion fans are a big reason for that success.
It all starts even before the opening whistle. And it continues without barely even taking a breath for the next 90 minutes. Welcome to the Brickyard Battalion, the hardiest of the diehard fans for the Indy 11.
We are a passionate family. We have each other's backs and we have the team's backs. It has been great to see them gel on the field, in the locker room. The team has great morale, and we feed off of it, and we know that they feed off of us as well.
This group existed in some form for nearly 2 decades before the 11 came into being.
We make noise for our team. I go to other sports games and I'm just sitting there like, what do I do with myself? They do the same chants over and over. This is so weird, but I come here and it's like I'm home, and I'm a family with this group, and I'm just ready to go, and it's exciting. It's the best.
Now the battalion have become an important part of a true home field advantage.
The energy that the crowd gives us more energy in the game, and you know, the confidence of not losing at home. You know, you feel like you're not going to lose, so we've made it kind of like a fortress, and that's how we intend to keep it.
All of the chants, the songs, the cheers, yes, there is a bit of a script. But even if you're a newbie, it doesn't take long to get in on the fun.
We would see some new people jumping there here and there, and I'm just like, okay, have at it. I mean, I remember my first time when I was staying in that section, I didn't know what I was doing. Like, what is this?
Just go with it.
Yeah, just go with it.
And with the playoffs approaching, they'll have at least one more night to cheer on their beloved team.
Even in the 89th minute, if we're down a goal, they're giving it their all, and so I feel like we've helped the team out. You know, we're their 12th guy.
Well, Wednesday's win secured the 11 a home match for the playoffs.
The game is scheduled for next Saturday at IUPUI's Carroll Stadium. Good luck to them.
And if you've ever been to an Indy 11 game, they are loud. I don't know how they chant and cheer like for the whole 90 minutes. It's really, really impressive.
Probably a bit of a workout.
Yeah, right. Exactly. And probably hoarse the next day. But great to see the fan base. All right, outside right now, it's chilly out there. Temperatures getting down to around freezing in many locations here as you kick off your Friday morning. And we'll probably cool another couple degrees this morning until we start to warm pretty quickly once the sun comes up. So just got to be patient here this morning with the chill in the air. Eventually, we'll look at temperatures climbing into the 60s later on this afternoon, which is fairly seasonable. You throw in the sunshine and the light winds, should be a pretty nice Friday for us all across the area.
New ideas are popping for a mall that's been troubled for a number of years. The major changes coming up at 6 a.m. when I join Lauren and Meredith on Good Morning Indiana.
Day at 10 on RTV6. This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Coming up here on Good Morning Indiana, 3 teens were caught after stealing a truck, leading police here on a chase. The warning police have for drivers so your vehicle doesn't become a target.
And Indiana is leading the way when it comes to safe haven baby boxes. Coming up, our Kelsey Anderson is live explaining how this life-saving system works. But first, here at 5:30, we want to welcome you in. It is a frosty Friday out there, and we are not talking about the Wendy's kind, Lauren.
Yes, we definitely are talking about what it's going to feel like as you step out the door, and Todd Clausen is here to break it all down for us so that you know what to wear, Todd.
Yeah, I just noticed my tie matches the color of the mat.
Yeah, we all match.
I have to stop wearing blue ties because that means it's going to be chilly out there. I'll also have to start to more yellows and oranges here maybe in the coming days. But yeah, look at these temperatures this morning. Not so bad here in the city at 39 degrees, 35 in Bloomington. But look at some of these temperatures here in northern locations where we've dipped below freezing now. It's 31 in Kokomo as well as Marion, 32 right at the freezing point in Anderson as well as Logansport. So it's here in northern locations that we have the best opportunity to pick up some patchy frost, although the National Weather Service does have the frost advisory in place across all of central Indiana. So don't be shocked if you walk out to your car and you have to chisel a little bit of ice off the windshield. As far as the rest of today, skies are clear. We start off mostly sunny. Some high thin clouds will filter in as the day goes on, but overall it's a very, very nice Friday. A quick warm up with the sunshine this morning. Should be in the low 50s by the noon hour with high temperatures later on this afternoon, Lauren, climbing into the low to mid 60s.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Here's a live look right now in the downtown area where we've been monitoring this crash cleanup. It's on southbound I-65 at the South Split, so use caution heading through that area. Traffic still getting by okay. No delays to slow you down. Let's take a look right now at our Traffic Now map. Looking ahead to this weekend and this evening, we do have ramp closures going into effect. Southport Road, the ramps to both northbound and southbound I-65 closing this evening. The ramp closure is scheduled to last through Monday morning, so keep that in mind. Also, as you're driving on the south side between Southport Road and I-465, only one lane will be open in both directions, and that is due to road work. Again, that closure is set to go into effect tonight, scheduled to reopen Monday morning at 6 a.m. Let's take a live look right now up to the northeast, I-465 at Binford Boulevard. You can see traffic in this area is moving along just fine. No crashes to slow you down.
We are following breaking news on the south side. That's where a police chase involving 3 teens and a pickup truck a stolen pickup truck ended. It started around 2 this morning at a hotel near 21st and Post Road. Police say the truck was running when the teams hopped in and drove off. The truck's owner told police there was a weapon inside. The chase then ended at Garfield Park. Police say this serves as an important reminder to not leave your vehicles running unattended.
I know it's terrible having to go out and get into a cold vehicle, but the extra 5 or 10, 15 minutes of being in a cold car is a lot better than the unfortunate result here, where this gentleman, this victim, has probably several thousands of dollars of damage to his vehicle.
None of the teens were injured, and the truck only suffered minor damage. We are learning new information this morning about a crash that left 5 people hospitalized. Police now say alcohol was likely a factor. The crash happened in Whitestown around 5:30 last night. Officers say a semi-truck hit a car at the intersection of State Road 267 and Indianapolis Road. The 5 people inside the car were injured. Their conditions have not yet been released.
Well, Safe Haven baby boxes started popping up here in the state of Indiana back in 2016. It's a place where parents who don't think they can properly take care of their newborn can safely leave their baby in the hands of first responders.
Our TV6's Kelsey Anderson joins us live this morning with how these boxes work from inside a fire department. Kelsey, good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, so I'm here now with Tim Griffin. And so tell me a little bit, once a baby is placed in this box from the outside, what happens on the inside?
So immediately the door will lock outside, and the moment that door is triggered, the first alarm will go off. So within seconds, the firefighters here at the station will be alerted, dispatch will be alerted, in which return they'll dispatch several people from fire department, police, chiefs that are on and off duty, and they'll all be dispatched to here. The firefighters will come in and they'll immediately open the door. There's also a second alarm where there's a beam that goes across that just is a fail-proof. There'll be a second alarm because that baby will trigger it through that. The firefighters will take the box out with the baby in it, and if the baby needs immediate care, they're going to immediately move that box to the ambulance and transport to the hospital. Right. If the baby is doing well, they'll move it over here to just the changing table. Inside we have medical supplies that the baby may need. If not, we've got diapers, we've got changes of clothes and things that can be for that baby, and then we'll immediately be able to move them over or her to the car seat, and then we can safely take them to a hospital.
Yeah.
Or the correct facilities.
And all of you guys here are trained to handle this situation.
You know, we appreciate it. We understand that, you know, you can always also just come to the station, knock on the door. There's safe haven laws. We will take that. We're trained medical professionals. But if they're in a situation, and, you know, we don't know the situation they're in, if they feel that this is the place they need to take it, then they can use this box. And it's a great place because we'll be able to be here immediately and take that baby and have it in the hands of professionals.
Awesome. Perfect. We'll have more coming up for the rest of the show here at the Carmel Fire Department. I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Kelsey, such an important thing to let parents know. Thank you so much. Well, more witnesses, they're set to testify this morning in this trial in the northern Indiana woman charged in the deaths of 3 siblings at their bus stop. Investigators say Alyssa Shepard disregarded a school bus arm in Rochester, hitting and killing 9-year-old Olivia Stahl and her 6-year-old twin brothers, Mason and Xavier Engel. This crash happened back in October of last year. Our news gathering partners at WROI Giant FM radio have been inside the courtroom since this trial started. That station talked to Olivia Stahl's father.
We need to kind of stay calm with it, let the trial occur. It's a struggle for us and everybody involved as is. Our community is shook by it, not just here in Fulton County, but Pulaski County where we reside and neighboring counties.
Well, Shepard faces several charges, including reckless homicide.
Funeral services will be held this morning for the Indiana State Police trooper killed in a car crash last week. A visitation was held on Thursday for Trooper Peter Stephen at Crossroads Community Church in Kokomo. People who had never even met the trooper paid their respects, including law enforcement from other parts of the country, like Carlos Sosa Vicara with the Minnesota State Patrol.
Doesn't matter if you're a trooper, if you're a sheriff deputy or a police, it's just a big brotherhood. Everybody comes together and shows support to the families.
The funeral starts this morning at 11 o'clock. Also at Crossroads Community Church, the public is welcome to attend. Governor Holcomb also ordered flags to be flown at half-staff today to honor Trooper Stephen. They will remain lowered until sunset.
At 5:37, we do have new details this morning on a tentative deal between General Motors and the United Auto Workers Union. The overall package from the company is valued at $9 billion. That's up from the company's original offer of $7 billion. The agreement means 9,000 jobs retained or new, and the 4-year deal includes 3% pay raises for 2 of the years and 4% lump sum payments for the other 2. UAW workers have been on strike for more than a month now. Union leaders spoke on the deal yesterday and thanked communities across the country for their support.
Incredibly, profoundly impacted by the overwhelming support of the community, of the different cities that we are in, of this nation. This strike actually became more than just a strike for the UAW. It was about the hearts and minds of American workers and the middle class.
Well, the union is now sending the agreement to membership for voting. That's scheduled to start tomorrow. Employees will continue to strike and will continue. The strike will continue during that time.
Working for You, another family is reaching out to RTV6 with concerns about abandoned homes in Indianapolis. They say a crumbling house next door is more than an eyesore, and it's even causing damage to their property. Scott Harvey and his wife Donna live on Tuxedo Street on the east side. You can see the home next door has overgrown trees in the front yard and trash littering the lawn. We checked into the property and found the city has owned the home since 2017, but complaints about trash, weeds, and requests to have the property boarded up date back to 2011. Each complaint has been investigated and closed.
The bricks fall off the chimney and hit my house, and it's tore down my fence. Just the whole side of my house has been tore down by it, you know. It's just a disgrace.
RTV6 took those issues to the city again. A spokesman with the Department of Business and Neighborhood Services is contacting the proper agencies about the problems, and we've learned the house is in the process of being sold with a proposal to rehab it.
Well, it is that time of the year. Haunted houses across the area pulling out all the stops to scare anyone who dares to visit. But one haunted house up in Anderson is doing more than giving good scares. They're also supporting a big cause. Stillwell Manor held a special event on Thursday night to benefit the LGBTQ community. The event was put on by Paul Lanner and his organization, Haunters Against Hate. He started the group back in 2016 after the Pulse nightclub shooting in Orlando that killed 49 people. Lanner now travels the country to places like Stillwell Manor to raise money for LGBTQ youth organizations. Last night, money from this event was given to Muncie Outreach.
It's very difficult times we're living in right now, and there's a lot of hate, and hate crimes are on the rise. So I feel this is even more important now, especially for youth.
Well, Laura Janney from Muncie Outreach says support like this is helping her organization save lives. You can learn more about Haunters Against Hate or Muncie Outreach. Just visit the RTV6 app. Right here at 540, we want to check in with Todd Clausen as those kiddos are getting ready to head out to the bus stop.
And Lauren, they really need to bundle up here this morning. We're getting very close to the hat and glove weather out at the bus stop as temperatures are in the mid to low 30s in many locations. In fact, some locales, especially to the north, Peru, and then off to the west in Crawfordsville, your temperatures right now are below freezing. So you definitely need to bundle up this morning as the kids head off to the bus stop and you also head out the door and get your Friday going. When the kids come home, though, it should be beautiful outside. We really warm quickly. We should see our temperatures jump about 30 degrees in some locations from our morning low to our afternoon high with plenty of sunshine this afternoon. So get out there and enjoy. And today really starts a warming trend as we head into your weekend. Saturday and Sunday, we're going to be above the normal high of 65 degrees. And so it times out perfect that it's the weekend because look what happens. The front comes through on Monday, and by the time we get to Tuesday, we're talking about temperatures once again that will be in the 50s. Speaking of the weekend, we'll talk about it in more detail for you coming up in Maine Weather in just a few minutes.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. The impeachment inquiry takes an interesting turn as President Trump's chief of staff appears to confirm quid pro quo. Coming up, what he disclosed about the administration's dealings with Ukraine.
And a top e-cigarette company is making a big change. Still ahead, what Juul is doing to reduce their appeal to young people.
And we're keeping a close eye on traffic this morning as you're heading out the door. Here's a live look at I-70 and I-65 at the North Split, where traffic is moving along just fine this morning. Stick around. We'll have a look at your weekend road closures and lane closures. That's coming up right here in Good Morning Indiana just after the break.
The president's acting chief of staff making an astounding statement from the White House podium. Mick Mulvaney seemed to confirm that the Trump administration withheld millions in military aid from Ukraine for political purposes. He acknowledged the Trump administration did withhold military aid to the Ukraine in part to pressure Ukraine to investigate Democrats. It contradicts what the president has now been saying for weeks.
To be clear, what you just described is a quid pro quo. It is funding will not flow unless the investigation into the Democratic server happens as well.
We do that all the time with foreign policy. And I have news for everybody. Get over it. There's going to be political influence in foreign policy.
Mulvaney later claiming his comments were misconstrued, writing in a statement the only reasons we were holding the money was because of concern about lack of support from other nations and concerns over corruption.
At 5:46, a lawsuit has been filed on behalf of 10 people hurt in a hotel collapse in New Orleans last weekend. At least 2 people were killed Saturday when the Hard Rock Hotel, which was under construction, collapsed. One person remains unaccounted for this morning, and officials say the chances of finding that person alive is slim. At least 30 other people were hospitalized in this event. The lawsuit is suing several construction companies for liability and negligence. The plaintiffs say they suffered head and back injuries as well as respiratory issues because of that collapse.
Leading e-cigarette company Juul says it will stop selling vape flavors that are popular with young people. This comes after more than 30 people died from a vaping-related lung disease in the U.S. Juul says only tobacco, mint, and menthol flavors will remain for sale in stores. Their mango cream, fruit, and cucumber flavors have already been removed from online stores. They were only available online after they pulled them from store shelves last year. Juul says they will still be sold outside of the U.S. The company is also suspending all TV, print, and digital advertising. Juul CEO says he hopes the move will build trust in the vaping industry. And the number of vaping-related lung injuries continues to climb here in Indiana. The Indiana State Department of Health says there are 33 confirmed cases of lung injuries from vaping. There are also 51 probable cases. 3 people in Indiana have died from vaping-related lung injuries. The Indiana Department of Health says while vaping is the underlying factor in these lung injuries, it's still unclear what specific vaping products, brand, or substance is causing these cases. It is 5:48, and Todd Clausen has a look at our Frosty Friday forecast.
Yeah, the big headline, at least this morning, Meredith, is the frost advisory that is in place here across central Indiana. So it's a very, very cold start for us. Probably one of the coldest mornings we've seen, where many of us, I'll show you in just a second, are below freezing. But here's the good news. As soon as the sun comes up, we'll have quick warming in the forecast today, and it turns into a very, very pleasant afternoon. So the cold kind of gets the headline here this morning, but don't let that deter you from making plans later on this afternoon, because it turns into a beautiful day. A live look to the southwest. Here's Lucas Oil Stadium, which should be beautiful. I'll show you, by the way, for the Sunday home game against the Texans for the Colts. 39 degrees. That's the current temperature. The winds are nice and calm. The skies are clear. And with those calm winds and clear skies, once you get out of the city, look at some of these temperatures. It's 35 right now in Bloomington as well as Terre Haute. 32 is the current temperature in Peru, but there's a lot of locations here in some of your hometowns to the north that are below freezing right now. Marion 31. It's 31 in Kokomo as well. Frankfurt up to Logansport and Anderson, you're at 32 degrees, so you're at or below freezing. That's the best chance of seeing some pretty good frost across the area. But you look off to the west and temperatures are in the 40s and 50s, and that's the warmer weather that's going to be heading our way once we work our way into the day today. In the afternoon hours, we're in the 60s, and tomorrow we make that jump up into the 70s. So clear right now. There's some clouds with that warmer air off to the west, and some of these will drift in as the day goes on. But overall, we're just looking at skies going from mostly sunny to partly cloudy later on today. But with that sunshine, notice the temperatures already into the mid-50s by the time we get to the noon hour. And then high temperatures today will be in the low 60s. And 65 is our normal high for this time of year, so we're getting pretty close to that number. And then by 6 p.m., we're down to right around 60. It's Friday evening. You may have plans. I encourage you to maybe have the jacket as you make your way out and about. 7:02 is sunset this evening, and temperatures will be falling back down into the 50s. So for your weekend, Saturday, 70 degrees, a mixture of sun and clouds, just a chance of a spot shower late in the day. And then there's that forecast for Sunday, 72 degrees, mostly sunny skies. If you're tailgating, starts off a little chilly for the Colts game, but by the time we get to kickoff, probably approaching 60 degrees. degrees and then into the low 70s. So hopefully, maybe for the first time this season, the roof will be open there at Lucas Oil Stadium. Fingers crossed, right? And then as we get into Monday, the front comes through with around the showers and storms, followed by cooler temperatures next week. Lauren?
All right, Todd, thanks so much. We do want to look ahead to some weekend road work. This may impact your commute, and we want to take a look here on the northeast side because a lot of you travel this over the weekend. Northbound I-465 here. This is between I-70 all the way up to 56th Street. Crews will be closing lanes for construction, leaving one lane open between 9 o'clock tonight and 6 a.m. Monday morning. So as you're traveling around the I-465 loop over the weekend, this could be a slow spot that could cause you some issues. We want to make you aware of that. And then up here on the north side of town, as you're traveling westbound on I-465, so you're continuing along the loop, one lane will be open here between White River and College Avenue for construction. That also goes into effect at 9 o'clock tonight, scheduled to last until 6 a.m. Monday morning. So keep that in mind if you are traveling this weekend on the interstates. Let's take a look right now down to the south. I-65 and Southport Road. We have some ongoing road work here between Southport Road and I-465 over the weekend. The interstate, both northbound and southbound, will only be open in one lane. That could be a slow spot as well, so we'll continue to keep you updated on those weekend projects.
A federal organization is proposing for incline baby sleepers to be banned. That's after the popular product has been implicated in dozens of infant deaths nationwide. The U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission proposed banning the sale of sleepers that have more than a 10-degree incline. They say bigger inclines cause babies to roll their heads too far forward or to the side, which can cause them to suffocate. A number of child safety groups are also supporting the proposal. The ban still has to be approved by the full commission. Jennifer Aniston is now in the Guinness Book of World Records. After the break, the records she took from Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. We'll be right back.
Lasting energy to outlast your morning.
Jennifer Aniston debuted her Instagram account, breaking the internet in a Guinness World Record. The actress joined the social media platform on Tuesday and actually temporarily crashed the app. In just 5 hours and 15 minutes, 16 minutes that is, she had 1 million followers. That broke the world record set by Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. They hit 1 million in 5 hours and 45 minutes. So I've been on there for like 5 years, and I'm not close to even like 3,000 yet. So
that's okay.
Yeah, when you're
good for her. When you are famous,
Jen Aniston, yeah. you can do it all.
All right. Well, in the forecast today, it's going to be chilly. You're going to want to bundle up as you head out there, Todd.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. In fact, I think for the first time this fall season, I'm reporting a temperature in the 20s. Zionsville down to 29 degrees right now. Logansport at 32 degrees. Lafayette just above freezing, as is Bloomington at 34. Running a little warmer in Indianapolis, but the skies are clear. So we've cooled it off with the clear skies pretty quickly. But here's the good news. We can warm it up just as quickly with the sunshine once that comes up. So once the sun does rise, we will see those temperatures warm pretty quickly. Up to 62 degrees, which puts us near average. Should be a pretty nice Friday for us after this chilly start. More on the weekend in just a few minutes.
The small has faced some troubling years, but now there's a new driving force to make some major changes. I'm Rafael Sanchez. That story next on RTV6.
And it's the last week of the regular season for high school football. This morning, we are live at Lawrence North for the final Friday Football Frenzy. We'll be right back.